everybody, my name is Maddie and this is my new channel and Peggy Braids. I'm so excited to start posting and teach you guys some awesome styles. Today we're going to be learning the 5 most basic braids. We're going to be learning the rope braid, the regular braid, the fishtail braid, and the French and Dutch braids. And I hope that you guys could learn these basic styles so that you could get better at braiding and have some fun along the way. Thank you guys and make sure to subscribe. Okay, so the first style we're going to do is the regular basic braid. I think everybody should know this because once you know it, you can be so creative and do basically any style. You could do hundreds of styles with just this one braid. So, I'm going to be doing the way that you hold your hands with it because I think that that's the hardest thing that keeps people from being able to learn how to braid. There are multiple ways to do it, so please feel free to do it your own way, except this is how I do it. So, I'm starting by splitting the hair into 3 sections. I'm going to hold these 2 in one hand, so one piece in my hands and one piece in between my fingers. And the third strand in my other hand. Now, with the braid, you have to go over and under. So I'm going to take my right strand and go over the middle strand, take that strand and pull it under, add this to my other hand, and then go under. We're going to do the same thing again. So now we're back in a normal position with our piece in our hands and our piece in between our fingers. So we're going to go over, pull that piece under, the middle piece, holds the strand, and then we're going to go under. So pull the middle strand under. And now you can see the middle strand has become the right strand. So we're going to keep doing that all the way down. And I'll show you slowly one more time. Over, under. And like I said, you could hold this any way you want. I'm just showing you this slowly so that you could figure it out. I'll show you another way now. Hold the pieces like this, flat, so pinch them in between your hands and then hold with your other hand and go over and grab that and hold right here. So this is the same, except instead of holding the pieces in between our fingers, we're pinching at the top. And some people find this a lot easier, especially towards the end of the braid. Try not to think too hard about it. As long as you know the basic pattern, then you could do it, and eventually the fingering will become natural to you. Once you get to the bottom, tie it off with an elastic. So we're going to tie this off just like a normal ponytail, and you are done. So our next style is the basic rope twist. And I find this even easier than the actual braid because it only involves 2 strands. You're going to take your right strand and pull it under the left strand. And you could do that however you'd like. I like to use 2 fingers. Now you're back in your original position. You're going to take your new right strand and twist it inwards. If you do not do this, the braid will fall out when you tie it. So now we're going to do the fishtail braid, and a lot of people get scared when they think of this braid and they think that it's super complicated, but once you know the steps, it's super easy. We're going to split the hair into 2 sections. And what you're going to do is you're going to take one strand, a tiny piece of one of the sections, and cross it over and add it to the other section. And now you're going to do it the other side. So I like to hold the strands like this so that this piece that you just crossed over doesn't get undone. You're going to keep doing this all the way down. So cross over and add it to the other section. So you only have 2 sections of hair. You're just crossing them over to the other side. Okay, so the next style is the basic French braid. A lot of people get really scared when they hear the French braid. They think they can never do it, but it's really the same as a normal braid, except you're adding in hair. So I'm going to take a small piece of the top to create our braid. And you're just going to do it like a normal braid, so make sure you have the normal braid down before you do this. So cross the strand over, cross the strands over. And now we're going to start adding hair. So we have our 2 pieces in our hand, and we have that 3rd piece in our other hand, right? So you're just going to grab a section of hair and add it to that 3rd piece and cross over. Super simple. Now you're going to get this piece that's the other hand, add a section of hair, and cross over. And you're going to be doing this right until you reach the neck. And by then you should have all the hair added. So right now I'm holding all 3 sections in one hand by putting the sections in between my fingers. And I like doing that. You could do 2 hands if you want, but I think that that's easier. Adding in the rest of our hair. This mannequin is a ton of hair, so I had to add a lot at once, but you shouldn't have to do this on a normal person. And now that all the hair is added in, just continue with the basic braid. So our last style is the basic Dutch braid. And this is basically a reverse French braid, meaning that you pull the strands under instead of over. Under, like this. When with the French braid, you would be pulling over. And a lot of people like this a lot more than they would like a French braid because you could pull out the sections and make the braid super big. And I'll show you how to do that also. So you're going to take your 3 strands and pull it under. And keep pulling under. Now, time to add in hair. So I'm going to do the same thing I did, placing it on my thumb, adding other hair, and using my second hands to pull the braid under. And placing the hair in my thumb, adding my next section, and continue that. Now, if you want your braid to be nice and big and puffy, then stop after a few sections, or a few strands pulled under. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold all 3 strands with one hand, and you're going to take your other hand and you're going to pull out the corners. Don't pull out the entire braid, just pull out the corners. And make sure that your braid is nice and tight before you start pulling out the style, or else it'll just be super like floppy and it won't have that big voluminous look. Now it's time to pull out the strands again. So you're just pulling out the corners. And don't be afraid to make it super big. Now that we're down to the neck, we're just going to continue until the braid is all the way down. I'm actually going to end this in a ponytail because I just prefer the way it looks. And I want to show you that you could have that option also. So you're just going to tie it off once you've added all the hair. And there you go, 5 basic easy braids that anybody could do with a little bit of practice. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to subscribe so that you could see my new videos every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.